Y'all ready? Everybody good? Everybody ready?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Everybody awake?
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
That's for you. Is you awake?
Yo, welcome to Beers and Bars.
Your place for rapid fire hip hop discussion and of course great beer.
I'm Kamal Kiddo.
OT the Golden Child. Thank y'all for checking out last week's episode. Big shout out to Kinky Suds. Make sure you follow her. Make sure you follow her on IG. I think that's where she is right now mainly.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying, doing her thing. As you can see, this week we have a guest with us.
Yes.
And I was privileged enough to talk to this brother about a month ago on one of his podcasts. I think
Good
he got,
interview. Good
you know
interview.
what I'm saying? But I'm gonna let him introduce himself, man. Go ahead.
What's going on? I'm Juice JVP on Instagram and Twitter. I got a podcast. It's called Good in the Hood. I started off like this: what's good in the hood. Also a part of a network of creatives and brand builders called the Blank Canvas Creatives Network, BKC Network, on Instagram and Twitter as well.
Right on.
And also Good in the Hood at Good in the Hood Pod on Instagram and Good in the Hood on Twitter. Sorry for that.
Word. We're gonna talk to Juice a little bit about his podcast, where it came from, why he's doing it, all that good stuff. But first, and we're also going to talk about, a couple of other things. Flygod is an awesome guy too. Westside Gunn.
Yes, sir.
Just dropped a couple days ago. And we're talking about the Fabolous and Jadakiss Verzuz on IG.
Yes, sir.
That battle, that slaughter. But I'll get into that later. What are we drinking, fellas? What are we drinking?
I'll go first. You know what I'm saying? Kamal, I got to get you yours. This is Freedom of Expression via Revolution Brewing. I still got to come out your way or whatever. However we going to do it and make sure I give you your allocation from John. But this is a strawberry, and this is a sour, session sour. Strawberry and rhubarb come together in unity for a session sour with bright fruit flavor and a tart finish. Raise a glass to freedom and family. It's a pretty good sour. I'm not a super big fan of sours like Kamal is, but this joint is not super duper duper sour. It has a little sweetness to it as well. So that's what I got, man. Kamal.
Right on. I am having Two Brothers Wizard Staff today, which is a 5% ABV. It's a IPA. Mm-hmm. It may have taken some powers of mystical proportions, but we conjured up an easy drinking, low alcohol IPA that doesn't compromise flavor. Extremely drinkable, but with a bold hop profile, this IPA is juicy and tropical, yet smooth and light, crushable, flavorful, stackable. It must be magic. Look at that.
You know what?
Two Brothers Wizard Staff.
They need to give you a deal for everything you just did, man. Reading off the can so perfectly. Juice, you can tell us about your plight right now, man. What's going?
I'm drinking H2O right now. I'm just trying to push back a little bit on alcohol because I'm doing a little weight loss thing right now. So I'm trying to relax on the alcohols right now. But typically I have some Lagunitas, some Sierra Nevada in front of me, something sessionable. But yeah, right now I'm just cooling on the water.
I like that, man. You know what? I think we all might need to take heed because I mean, with the pandemic and everything, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I've been throwing them back, man.
And the other day I was playing in the pool with the kids, and they talking about, Daddy, you look like Thor. When Thor had put on some drinking beers and stuff, because we just got done watching the Marvel movies. Like, you look like Thor. Word. All right, it's time to. Let me just go ahead and pour this out, man. It's time to do some push-ups, some crunches or something.
Plus, it's like hot as hell outside, so like drinking, like it's always kind of fights against each other, beer and the heat.
That's true, man.
But
come on, go ahead.
Yeah, man. Let's start with you, Juice, man. Why are you doing the Good in the Hood podcast? Where did it come from?
So like, for all my life, I've always been a dude who's like debating, Biggie, Pac, Jay-Z, Nas. I'm always in those conversations. LeBron, Jordan, all that kind of stuff. And eventually, I was like, I started blogging. I blogged back in the day when the blog era was kicking off. And everyone had a blog. I had a WordPress. And tried to do that kind of stuff. And of course, after a while, that going to school, went to school for broadcast communications, and that also turned me into doing like college radio. And then I eventually got the guts to get a podcast. I thought the ill idea for the podcast would be to kind of base it around my social media activity and the people I debate with on social media, and bring them on the podcast and have those discussions and record them for the world. Because I look at like the Joe Budden podcast, look at like the Joe Rogan podcast, and it's pretty much just shit talk, And I think we all do that in our life. It's about doing it in a way that is marketable. So that's what I'm trying to do here.
Okay.
Word. How long have you been doing it for?
I just started in technically December. I've been trying to get my feet into it for a while, but it's all about finally getting that push and finally jumping off the ledge and doing it. It was crazy how it happened, because for me, the first day I recorded, person I'm close to in the world, my grandmother, she was real sick. She was 98, and she was going through trouble. She broke her leg. And then she was in the hospital for a long stint. December 29th, I go to record the first episode, a bunch of my homies, and we leave, just a practice session. We leave, I got a call from my pops, and we go to the hospital, and, got the worst news ever, and didn't do it. I just didn't think about a podcast, didn't think about anything for a while. And then late January, I'm at work, get the news about Kobe. And, when Kobe's death happened, it was one of those things. I think it hit a lot of us, a lot of people who grew up in that era, and it made me say, you know what? There's no promise, nothing outside of right now. So like, if I want to have my legacy created, I gotta create it right now. And literally that Sunday, I recorded the podcast with myself and put it out there. And then from that point on, I've been just trying to move it and make it happen with my homies and whoever else I can grab to get an episode with me.
That's what's up, man.
Word.
What about the Blank Canvas Creatives? That's a collective of different podcasts and whatnot. So talk about that some as well.
So that was super interesting how I got involved with that, because it's going back to a person I mentioned earlier, the Joe Budden podcast. I was just happened to I got invited to a Facebook group, as we all do on a regular basis. It was Joe Budden podcast Facebook group, and I guess it was some sort of beef or something happened with the admins of the group. And long story short, they created another group. I was invited to that group also, and I just said, cool, it sounds cool. It's a bunch of creatives doing stuff. Shout out to the homie Uncle Vic and Matt Harris and those guys who've been in the podcast world for a while. Like Matt Harris, he has the True North Views podcast in
I checked him out. Yeah, they're nice.
Yeah, like he's like up there with y'all in the 100 somewhere, like vets in this, and 100 episodes plus. And he moves out there. He's been in this a long time. And when I joined the BKC network, I found the dude who made these logos for me, and that pushed. And I was like, all right, now I got a logo. There's no excuse needed. So I just got into the podcast to help motivate me. I know if it can motivate me to do that, I can motivate the next person. And if we all come together and push our brands together, not only do our brands grow, but this brand grows, and more people's brands can grow with it. So it was a dope opportunity.
That's what's up, man. So your topic range from mainly hip hop, or
mostly hip-hop.
Everything encompassing?
I mean, I got an opinion on most things. I stick to hip hop, black culture. Like I've watched 1,000 million movies. I've heard most hip hop R&B albums. I pretty much am well versed in. I can go to the Bob Marley. I can go to the Jimi Hendrix and the Doors, and certain things I can go to. But you ain't gonna get me on who's better, Motley Crue, or I'm not gonna help you out. I ain't got it for you.
True that.
I'm not in that lane. But like this, if it's in the barbershop, I'm pretty sure I can find my way in there. I minored in political science. I minored in journalism. I've done a bunch of things and studied a bunch of angles of life. So I have an opinion on a few things.
Right on. What we getting into today, man?
Let's do Flygod is awesome too. No. Let's go ahead and do Jada versus Fab first.
Okay, so
it's gonna be short and quick. It's gonna be short and sweet.
I'm saying, I mean, so here's the thing. So
let me ask this.
Go ahead.
Going into the battle, if we had said, yo, a song for song battle, Jada versus Fab, who you got? What would you have said?
I would have said Jadakiss by a country mile. Mm-hmm. I'm glad it finally's happened. I'm glad people have finally been able to realize that Fabolous is one of the most overrated catalogs in music.
Let's go!
It's crazy.
Hey, wait a minute. Okay, hold on.
I don't know why you get so much love.
Okay, so look, here's what I have. I mean, that's a good question, Otis. That's a good question because going into it, I don't know how I would have answered that, to be honest, and I know why. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why is because I agree with you, Juice. Jadakiss slaughtered. He slaughtered
from the jump. It was ugly.
Slaughtered Fab. And it's because Jada is a better song maker. You know what I'm saying? He's a better beat picker, if nothing else. You know what I'm saying? He picks better beats. He makes better songs. And Fab's songs, there's a lot of love joints in there. He had the girl joints. Even his gangster start keeping it gangster. That joint is okay. You know what I'm saying? One of his hottest songs was Breathe. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's one of his
we're
best
gonna make
songs.
it next to that.
He did.
And it's like, this man, Jada, came out the gate with, like, he's been on
Blackout. He played Blackout to start it off with DMX. I'm like, oh, man.
He's
have a long day.
He's had some classic songs,
yeah, man.
in the canon of rap. Like, my God, he got real songs with Big that he didn't play. He played songs that he wrote for Puff. He played songs he played Puff verses.
Ugly.
He went crazy. He went crazy.
See, my thing for that was Jadakiss. I don't think Jadakiss is phenomenally more of a better artist than Fab. Like, I don't think skill-wise is much better. But I think Jadakiss has been with Bad Boy and Rough Rider before Fab even got started. And Jadakiss, if you look at catalog-wise, Jadakiss has Locks albums. He has his own albums.
Yes.
Fab has got a bunch of mixtapes. Like, you can only go so far. Like, especially if you're going to come out the gate playing your hits. Like, if Fab is going to beat Jadakiss, he had to play the soul tapes. He had to play the There's No Competitions, and he didn't play those. So he just
he played one or two songs from those.
He was playing Holla Back Youngin. He ain't beat Jadakiss with that, Joe.
But that's one of his biggest songs, though. That's all he could play.
Jadakiss didn't even play Why.
Facts.
Like, he didn't even play Why. He killed him.
I didn't even think about that. He did.
He didn't play Last Day by Biggie. Like, it's so much he didn't play.
I think going into the other. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think going into the I think Fab got some as they went and switched it up towards the second half. Like, as they started that out, Fab, he was like, okay. But early on, like out the gate, I was reminiscing. I was in a bathroom shaving. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the problem is that just Jada verses. Like, he got some memorable verses, G.
Yeah,
they played Everywhere We Go.
Yes.
Right. I was like, yo.
Bruh.
But like you said, he was with Bad Boy and Rough Rider. They getting the top tier producers and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Swiss Beats and Puffy. You got DJ
it's over for you, Fab. It was over. Yeah. But they put them together because, one, they homies, and their metaphoric flow is similar in that way. You know what I'm saying?
Fab would have a better chance against Lloyd Banks or somebody to that degree. I don't think Jadakiss was the move, man. I don't know why that was. Yeah. I was like, all right. I mean, maybe Jadakiss would be nice to him, play all the Mariah Carey joints.
You know what?
But no.
I did think it would be close. And again, the second round, I was like, okay, I think Fab got some, but I didn't think it was gonna be like that, G.
The first 10, I don't think Fab got one in the first 10. I don't think he got a W. I was like, what's going on right now?
It's like as soon as Fab, because Fab played some from one of them soul tapes, the Kanye joint.
Yeah, he played the Young OG.
Like, it's like, oh, okay. And
finally.
then, but still, then it's like
this man got a song with J. Cole
with like a feature. Feature, like the Ghostface feature, Run, Cuz got gun. Gee, he went crazy. I'm like, bro, he's killing him.
Like the fact that Fab didn't play Louis Vuitton pissed me off. Like, what are you doing, Fab?
Yeah.
Where Louis Vuitton at? You gonna play these songs against Jadakiss? You can't do that, man.
I think that Jada just his verses, man. I think verse for verse, because that's the problem right there. They were playing like a verse from him and then a verse from him. And Jada may have maybe some of the most memorable verses again in just the canon of rap, just his verses. If you'd be like, yo, he outshined most people he on songs with in general.
Like, what do you play after Banned from TV?
Bruh,
how do you,
he played Bad from TV. I'm like, yo, I forgot about it. But
exactly.
Here's the thing. Back to your question, OT, when you said who did you have going into it, I wasn't sure who I was gonna pick because they're on the same tier as far as rapping is concerned.
Punches and all that.
As far as style of flow, but also Fab, I wasn't sure because Fab is more consistent. You know what I'm saying? He's been out there like every year, 2 years, he gonna give you a project.
Summertime.
See what happened is in like the mid 2000s, we remember Jadakiss and Fab like killing all the mixtapes. But we forget that Jadakiss been out since '96 though. Like it's a different thing. Like, he's been out for he was in the same era as Fab.
That's a good point.
He was also in the era before Fab.
That's a good point.
That's true. It's a moment though when Jada wasn't really putting out tapes. He was putting out albums.
Yeah.
So when he's been silent, like it's like, man, one day he coming out with an album and he got hair. And it's like, yo, where he coming from with this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't even ready for that. We didn't get to ease into that. It's like, oh, Jada dropping a project. Okay, let's hear it. But now it's like he ain't dropped a project like in 10 years or something like that before that. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, the gap. And I'm just saying, Fab has been in the public eye doing things, whether it's with Ray J or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, he got even projects, you know what I'm saying? People like his projects a lot, you know what I'm saying? People like his mixtape a lot. And I think that's what made people say, yo, this could be a good battle. But they forget, you're right, I forgot that Jada been having some major projects way back. Man. And so when you play that, it's like, yo, I forgot about this joint. He went crazy because he played some joints from the Lox first album.
Yeah,
I'm
like, yo, he going crazy, G.
Yeah, he played Victory, the fucking. He played Victory. When Victory came on, like, yo,
it made me pull up some of them albums, G. I gotta go back and listen to the Power Respect drum, Money Power Respect, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We played. Hold on, man. Hold on. I'm about to play some joints now, man.
Go ahead.
What was more disrespectful though? The fact that your man is beating your ass, or he's doing it while he's drunk?
I think the last.
Jadakiss was twisted, Joe. That's the move for the rest of 20 right there.
Yeah. I'm doing this right here the rest of the
year. I'm definitely thinking, while he doing it, and then he'll play a song, and then Fab will play a song, and he say, yo, he going crazy. I'm looking like, Jada, stop. Jada, what are you saying? Come on, Fab.
Yeah.
Kiss. Come on.
So we all think
you lying right now. You lying to your mans right now. Don't do that.
Let's go to the Flygod joint, man.
Yeah, let's go to the Flygod joint. I'm about to start playing Logic joints.
We don't need to. We don't need to belabor. We don't need to touch that no more.
Yeah, I know. We just digging him a deeper hole, man. All right.
Flygod is an awesome guy too. Westside Gunn.
Westside Gunn. Flygod is an awesome guy too.
Now, Juice, I'm interested, man.
This is after the Griselda project.
Oh yeah.
This is after
Pray for Paris.
Pray for Paris, right. Flygod is an awesome guy. The first album where he's actually showing his face on the cover.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
I thought there was a reason to that. I thought he was on his Ghostface Killer. He might actually have a case pending or something. You know what I'm saying?
It could be because Griselda's not on the album. So I didn't think about that. So that could be the reason.
Yeah, he only got Benny on.
Yeah, Benny and Bodie, I think. I don't think Conway on there.
No, you're not. No.
I'm just saying all of his other projects, he never showed his face.
Stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Right. He always had a mask on or something. But I have grown to like Westside. I did not like his voice. He was my least favorite. He's still my least favorite, but I'm growing to. I've got like hearing this album. I can get past his voice and hear what he actually saying. And he actually he got some lines here and there. You know what I'm saying? I like the way he works what he does. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got his own style. He's got his own flow. And it's interesting. Like when I've heard this project now, because I mean it's only 30 minutes.
It's like 30 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, it's a short project.
And I've heard it at least 3 times now. Mm-hmm. And at first, the Stove God, who's this Stove God?
Stove God Cook. You ever heard his album?
Bro.
I had never heard of dude.
Reasonable Drought. Yeah.
So at first I'm like, okay, here we go with another main artist putting on one of his guys that sound like him. We've heard this a million times over the course of rap. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that sound like the main artist, but the more I listen to it, the more I'm like, you know what? He kind of spitting.
Rapping.
This dude kind of rapping a little bit, man.
He's rapping.
And so yeah, I was feeling Stove God and Rome Street on the last song too. I was feeling dude too, G. Okay. But I think it's a decent little project. I think it's part of his sound is that sample sound as well as skits. You know what I'm saying? He uses skits heavy. And I almost feel like this project is half skits, half bars. You know what I'm saying?
It really is.
But I like it. I think it's a cool project. I don't think it's better than Pray for Paris. But I do think it's a good project. It's a good project. In my opinion.
Yeah. Me next. I'm getting scared for Griselda, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm getting like terrified, bro. Like I want to root for these dudes. It's like, come on, man. Come on. It's like they're almost too much now. They got starting to lose y'all quality. It's like after a while, like I don't want your best. I don't want to confuse your best project for your worst project. Like I feel like they getting to that point where they best and they worst isn't too far off, and that's like a dangerous area to put yourself in, where you can end up in that currency round. You know what I'm saying, or that smoke dizzle round, where like cool, but I'm gonna listen to this project one day and then never hear it again, bro. And I don't want that to happen. And this project was dope. I messed with the Michael Irvin joint. Yeah. I messed with one of those, not the Jose Canseco, but the other Stove God Cook's joint.
Bubba Chuck?
And, yeah, and the one with Armani Caesar. She's pretty dope artist. They bring it up. But it's a few joints on there, but at the same time, it's not much different than Pray for Paris. It's not much different than Flygod is awesome. There's an awesome guy one. Like it's not much difference. Like when I look at, especially from Westside, someone who, like you kind of said earlier, is probably the least of the three. Like I'm going Benny, Conway, then Westside.
Yeah. And true.
Like you should probably be the one that stretches out the content more. Like you should be the last one I should get bored of. because like I know you're not the rapper, you more so the exec of the three, but man, you dropping 2 a year? I ain't even heard of Benny project yet.
True.
I'll tell you what, I think we've talked about this before on the pod before, as far as like, because you're making a point regarding their sound, right, and what they do. You know, they don't divert from what they are. You know what I'm saying? There is no.
They got a formula.
Yeah, exactly.
They got a formula.
But when I think about Westside, I do like this project. I don't think it's better than Pray for Paris. But what I like the most is when I hear him and what he do, I just look at it as like art. Like even the skits. Like, he got his own thing going on. His voice, what he talking about. I like the wrestling skits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he exists to me. I don't know. I wouldn't say outside of the group, but of the three, he is the one to me that does. I don't want to say it's
abnormal.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But it is a good point, though, because it definitely doesn't deviate too much from what we know. And over time, maybe it does get like right now, I don't really. Like, I like Future, but I don't, I've heard so
every project's the same.
For the most part, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I do get tired of this at some point. I'm not tired of it yet.
And the Future comparison is so dope because Future's never going to give you like, even if you don't like them, if you do like them, you're going to find a song on each project that's going to do what it's supposed to do because it's Future. Right. So Westside, like I'm not sure if it's Derringer, I'm not sure who produced it, but the Flygod is an awesome guy too. Like, the beats still amazing. Like, the quality is still dope. It's just the content, like what he's saying is the exact same thing every time. Like, I can interchange a verse from Pray for Paris and put it on this one, and it wouldn't miss a beat. Like, it's just the same content over and over again, especially with him. While Benny and Conway will offer more flows and stuff, while Westside's kind of, he gonna give you Westside, which is cool, but it's like, don't give me Westside 2 times in 6 months if you're going to do this.
I hear you. That's a good point.
I mean, but that's the Griselda way at this point.
Yeah, facts.
That's part of their model. You know what I'm saying?
And it's working. I'm just saying I'm scared to see how long it could have worked. How long can it work? I guess this is a good project. I fuck with this project. I mess with this project. I'm not sure like Chris or not.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't want to say it's a bad project, but I'm concerned like in 2022, what's Griselda gonna be if they can keep this pace up?
Okay.
Sure, I agree. I
want them to be the next Locks and Dipset and GU. I want them to do that, but they already pushing. They up there. They already up there in age. So the next wave is next for them, I'm sure, soon. So it's like I want to see the everything work out right for them. Do solid.
I think that they'll be fine just because nobody else, they're providing what people are missing from the standpoint of like a 90s era type. Like, it's people who really crave that. Yeah, so as long as don't nobody else try to come in and copy, which I don't think that's going to be possible because people are going to call it out right away like, oh, y'all trying to be Griselda. So I mean,
there is competition in that lane right now. There's Freddie Gibbs out there. There's Pusha T out there. That's kind of the same lane. And Freddie might be the dude right now.
It's a lot of artists that, sample heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have a formula. You know what I'm saying? The thing with, the group I would most place them with would probably be like a Mobb Deep or a Wu-Tang. And not Wu-Tang because it's not that many of them.
Yeah.
But as far as that sound, Westside kind of weaves together a tapestry of sounds more than the other two.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, because he's got the skits in there and, he's got his voice, which is also a thing in itself. You know what I'm saying? But
with that comparison to Wu-Tang, like, I look at Westside, if it's Wu-Tang, I look at him as RZA, right? And I don't want to hear RZA rap that often. You know what I'm saying? Like, RZA, relax.
I said, boy, let's come on. Wait, hold on. First of all, let's stop. First of all, it's important to say that today is, shout out to RZA, today is his birthday.
Shout out to RZA B-Day. Damn.
Today is his birthday?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Shout out to RZA, man.
Shout out to the Abbott. Shout out to
the Abbott, man.
See what happened when you not on?
West could never be the Abbott, man. Could never be the Abbott, man.
No,
I mean, for
Hey,
Griselda,
now
he's
listen
like,
to. Hey, I'm waiting on a RZA album. What you mean, man?
you want a RZA album? You want
bro,
some more grits? You want
he a
some more
fanny
grits?
fan. He a fanny fan.
Well, that song was
You want some more grits? That was horrible. That was a horrible record. I used to hate when I came on MTV Jams.
that was a bad record. That was a bad record.
The RZA can't rap on beat, man. It's horrible. Like, how you producer can't rap on beat? That's crazy.
Hey, you sound like me. Me and Kamal. I used to.
Hey, man. Hey, I'm used to this, man. I'm used to this, man.
Yeah. But I rock. But no.
So RZA like one of your favorite rappers from Wu-Tang?
No.
Oh, all right.
I'm not mad at his rapping though. I mean, I'm not mad at his rapping, but
no. Okay.
He's definitely one of my favorite. He's definitely one of my favorite producers
Legends,
of all time ever. And I think the difference between Griselda and Wu is that their production is heavily sampled, but it goes other places. You know what I'm saying? It's not just a loop. You know what I'm saying?
I'm still surprised at how RZA beat Preem, man. Preem was on that day.
Hey man, RZA got beats.
He do, facts.
We got beats, man.
Yeah, but Preem didn't pay the right cuts, man. Preem should have won that one. I don't know what Preem was doing.
Hey,
I feel like Preem would have never. I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna go there because I respect Preem too. I respect Primo, but I always had RZA, man. I always had RZA, man. You know,
RZA a dog for sure. RZA definitely. Come on, I can't say nothing bad about RZA.
I feel like that's the one song on Pray for Paris that don't fit. You know what I'm saying? The Primo song. You know what I'm saying? That's the one song out of that whole project. He got to do tap dancing, and I think that joint is hard. But like, that's the one song. And I'm like, this might need to go on a different project. It don't sound like it fits in the flow of the whole project. That's the only issue with that whole album to me, man.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So look,
Westside Gunn, awesome. Flygod is an awesome guy.
Are you guys voting for Kanye? Are you guys voting for Kanye 2020?
All right, so look, Kanye running for president is not. This is the thing, you know what I'm saying? People I feel like people that are disagreeing with him are thinking that this is crazy and all of that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it is, but the reason that, and if you follow Kanye and you are a level-minded person on your own without Kanye entering in or anything, right? Kanye is likes the anomaly of different things in culture. Right. He liked Chief Keef because he was different. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I used to always think like, man, why are you messing with Chief Keef, G? You know what I'm saying? He's not even a good rapper. But it's that rock and roll aspect of it that is separate from the norm. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't the norm when he came in. He never speaks about Trump's politics. He messed with Trump because of his dragon energy, because he's different, because he does tweet, because he does have this model wife that's been on the internet naked and half naked and all of that, because he's different. He never spoke to Charlemagne. I watched that interview twice. And he never spoke to Charlemagne about his politics. You know what I'm saying? He never speak about politics. You know what I'm saying? He don't talk about that. He messed with Trump because he wasn't supposed to make it. You know what I'm saying? And he did. And now he feel like he got a chance. And he does. That's the thing about it. He does have a chance.
He got a chance?
Now, in the real world, do I think he's going to get voted in? No, I don't. But people said, but this is Kanye. All I'm saying is I'm defending his right to try to go, to try to run.
If Kanye would have said this last year, or if he would say he's running for 2024, he might have a chance. Because America is losing his mind slowly but surely. But Do I think this is? I think this is probably like, and honestly, in all honesty, Kanye probably do a better job than Trump and Biden could do. For all I know, them dudes both suck. Sure. But at the same time, Kanye doesn't realize that him doing this now, there's kids out there that can go out there and vote for the first time and write in Kanye West as a ballot, and guess who's going to end up winning? Trump. And it's going to just, once again, bring it back diluting. It's going to dilute the vote. So now everyone's going to.
It will.
It's going to split things.
I agree with you. And that is, I agree. And I do believe that if he does really run, that's what will happen. He will split the vote. And I mean, the thing about it is between Biden and Trump, it's like, Biden ain't my pick. But of course, Trump not. But Biden is not.
Yeah.
Biden is something to be desired. It's not really like he ain't really a great candidate. You know what I'm saying? But if Kanye enters in, he will split the vote and Trump will win.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Do y'all think he's serious? You think he's for real? He gonna do it?
I think he's Donald. I think he's the black Donald Trump, bro. Not in the way he's racist, but I think he's a person that wants to be president and not realize that when you become president, you have to work and it's gonna suck. So I don't think Trump wanted to win. I think Trump wanted to just get the spotlight. I think Kanye don't want to win. He wants to get the spotlight. And once you win, you're gonna be trapped like Trump is, and now Trump probably gonna go to jail for this shit. So like, I don't know, man. I don't know who's talking to Kanye. I wish I'm the best, but interesting to say the least, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he. I don't think that.
I think what's the most interesting part is that Elon Musk was like, "I'm with you." I'm like,
yeah, it's scary, bro.
What if Elon and Kanye run? That'd be
scary hours, bro. Scary hours.
Yeah.
Like, and I
mean, the thing about
I'm such a Kanye fan. Like, anyone, you can ask anyone about me, bro. I'm the biggest Kanye fan. It's Biggie and Kanye. That's the two for me that I will go for forever, right? Them dudes right there is the best. But Kanye just makes me like, why? Why can't you be like Jay-Z and just sit back and chill, bro? You a billionaire. What do you need to be president for?
Here's the thing. He's never been, and me and Kamal have had conversations about this. Like, he will never be that because he's always been the anomaly that has been told what he can't, right? Like,
I feel like he's doing it because he's being told he can't.
Yeah, but no one can do everything, Joe. So you can't do something. There's something you can't do.
That's true.
Just live with that. You can't be do something. You're a musical genius. You're a billionaire. Your wife a billionaire. You got the highest selling shoes in the world. You out here selling what the things called? Them plastic shoes he got on now. The what the old ones called? The ones you buy in Walgreens. The Crocs. He's selling designer Crocs. Like the man is just chill.
Yeah. Look though. Listen what you're saying. He's selling designer Crocs, G. You can't tell that man nothing. Dog.
You can't tell him nothing. How do you tell him that you can't do something?
He can't tell him nothing.
Yeah, that's a great song, man.
I mean, here's the thing. That's the thing. Like he's not ready, in my opinion, for the political world. But I think that's his point. I think he's trying to change the tide. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to show you and show these kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's trying to show you that the anomaly can get in, G. You know what I'm saying?
If you can get in a time machine and go back to 2006, who would you be more surprised of in 2020? Lil Wayne, Kanye, like between those two, like, who would you more surprised of? You go back to 07, you got
where they are now?
Like where they are now?
Where they are now. Like who would you be? If I told you that Lil Wayne would be who he is now, and Kanye would be who he is now, 2007, what would you say?
What was popping in 2007?
No, graduation and Draw 3.
Well, I see what you're saying. What you're saying is like where their careers went, right? Like,
yeah.
Probably.
Go ahead.
I probably would say Wayne, man.
Yeah, Wayne scares me sometimes.
I thought that Wayne was gonna be like running rap crazy style. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Drake laughed him pretty fast.
He could have. He could have. And he probably still, well, I don't know now.
No, it's over with.
Hey, that
I don't know now.
That's over
But
with.
he said it's over
he's
with.
never, but the thing is, you get him in the booth right now, he's going to wrap circles around you. He's going to rap crazy.
His last album wasn't bad. Funeral wasn't bad, but
lyrically, he can rap, but he is not an artist in that way where he's designing his whole his project from beginning to end. You know what I'm saying? It's other people doing that. He's just a rap machine. So he just come in here and rap for you. Put on the beat and I'm gonna go crazy. And y'all do what y'all gotta do with it.
Yeah. I've never seen a protege pass like the success is so fast as Drake passed Wayne. Like that happened like in the blink of an eye. I feel like Wayne went to jail. Next thing you know, Drake ran the world.
Man, but still, Kanye the greatest artist of our generation, though.
For sure.
Absolutely, Michael Jackson.
Facts.
That boy Michael Jackson and Quincy Jones. He both of them.
Bro. like people hate to say that though. That's the thing about it, man. We having this conversation, and this is almost like
six classics, bro. Six of them. You know how hard it is to do 6 straight classics? like just 6 straight? This whole first 6 albums are classic albums. It's crazy.
Hold on, I gotta think about that.
I ain't lying to you. You think about, you can't watch it wrong. You can't watch it wrong.
Are we including Pablo? Because I ain't gonna call that a classic.
That's not part of the first 6.
All right, cool.
Okay.
And we cool.
Yeah, it's a graduation, college dropout, late registration, 808s, Twisted Fantasy, and Throne. That's 6. Like, how do you that's Mike.
Hey man, look, I don't care what y'all talking about. Y'all might not like the album, but I still maintain this. That man was rapping at the peak of his rapping on Yeezus, G. That man was rapping on Yeezus, boy.
Hold on, my liquor was pretty hard.
Now, beat-wise, sonic-wise, it was some song. It was definitely 2 or 3 songs out of the 10 on there, 9 on there, whatever.
I give him 5 songs on the album. 5 good songs on the album.
That man was rapping though. He was rapping on that whole project.
He got Hold On My Liquor. He got Bound To. He got Black Skinhead.
New Slaves. He was rapping. Man, y'all crazy. That man was rapping on that album, man.
It's 5 songs. Yeah, 5 songs. I give him that. But that on site, that joint with King Louis, them joints, I'm cool. It's a few
on site.
No, don't do no ooh. Don't do no ooh to
that joint hard. But the joint with King Louis, the joint with King Louis.
That's sending it. What's sending it up? Yeah, it gets skipped every time.
I definitely think that
Blood on the Leaves. Blood on the Leaves.
Blood on the Leaves, fire.
He got some.
Even Pablo has some joints. And Pablo
got joints, but overall,
Real Friends, 30 Hours, St. Pablo, of course.
It's like the beginning and the end.
Chance the Rapper,
the middle of the album. I ain't really messing with that album.
Yeah,
I do not return to that album.
At all?
I don't like Famous. I don't like
Ultralight Beam.
Ultralight Beam straight, but
that's Chance song, dog.
Definitely Chance. Definitely Chance and
that's Chance.
Kelly Price. Chance and Kelly Price on that song.
True. But yeah, man. Hey, man.
So
go back and listen to Yeezus, man. I'm about to go get a shirt with Yeezus on it, man.
So according to Kamal, we should all go back and listen to some Locks and some Yeezus tonight. It's gonna be a wild mix.
It's gonna be a wild mix.
Hey, I'm just saying from a pure rapping standpoint.
Yeah.
His pen game is the highest it's been on Yeezus. The man was rapping on Yeezus.
What?
Man.
Hold on. Everybody stop. Time out.
His pen game is the highest on Yeezus.
The highest?
Y'all go.
At the highest? Every song on there, he was going crazy. Every song.
Fantasy? We call it the Chi-Town version of Nas. You hear that? You hear the album? That with a new dress?
No, I'm gonna say.
Yo,
I ain't talking. No. Look.
Yo,
nah, my Dark Twisted Fantasy
is a bar fest by Ye.
No, my Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is his best, probably sonically, And I don't even know about that. I don't even know about that because I don't know.
And lyrically, that album is that's the second best album ever made in hip hop.
What?
Yes.
No.
What?
Yes.
I need another bit. Hold on. Second best album. Okay, wait. What's the first best album ever made?
Life After Death.
And the second best album is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
All about
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
We leaving out oh my God.
Facts.
Bruh.
Facts.
So you think that's his best
that
album?
era? That's Kanye's best album, yeah.
I don't know why you people think this.
Nah.
Graduation.
Late Registration is his best album, G.
What?
Late Registration is his best album. G.
That's better than College Dropout?
Those are 1 and 2.
I'm gonna say better than College Dropout, yeah. I got Late Registration.
I be continuously listening to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy to see why a good amount of Kanye's top fans think that that's his best, and I still ain't heard
rapping. He's rapping. Devil New Dress. I'm talking about. You gotta
That's his
remember
best.
that era.
That's one of his best songs.
And you gotta
That's
remember
definitely
that
one
era.
of his best songs he ever made, ever.
Like that era with the Good Fridays, that whole energy he had around that album. Like
I
that
agree.
whole So Appalled.
Woo, that's a hard song. I
Oh my
agree. That's a good record. That's a good record.
I mean, the Power remix. I'm not sure about the biggest fan of the Power original joint. Power remix is fire. All the Lights is a huge song. Like,
That's a good song.
The intro, Dark Fantasy, Gorgeous with Raekwon and Kid Cudi.
That's
man.
a good
That
joint.
Yeah, man. It's some joints on that. That thing is fire.
You got George for sure, but
that thing is fire. The joint with Pusha T. What's the song?
Okay. So for me, I'm not a fan of Hell of a Life. I'm not a fan of
in the world.
Blame Game is straight. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Lost in the World, the only thing I already skipped.
Yeah.
I know cats that love that song.
There's some things about My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy that's just like.
Yeah, but see, for me, with College Dropout, Late Registration, as much as I love them albums, they have the thing that, like, J. Cole and Kanye both have this problem to me, where they have these hits that I just can't listen to. I'm skipping these. I'm skipping New Workout Plan every time. It's getting skipped every time I listen to the album. New Workout Plan. Gold Digger is getting skipped every time. Let someone in a car and it's on the radio. Gold Digger ain't getting put on.
I feel what you're saying.
Digger? No, you don't feel what he's saying. Gold Digger, you don't skip Gold Digger.
I'm not gonna skip it.
It's a hit. It's a hit, but you don't want to hear when you listen to the album. I'm saying it's a hit.
But I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at that.
I'm gonna play.
Go ahead.
His best single on that album to me is like "Touch the Sky." Mr. Touch the Sky. Listen to Gold Digger.
That's a good single though.
Amazing. Talk to you, baby.
My 10-year-old said that that's his favorite song ever. G. Gold Digger. For
real. But see, that's also how you say she was?
He 10. He's 10.
He's 10, right? At 10, I love H to the Izzo. I don't like that now. H to the Izzo.
He wasn't even alive when that album came on. That just shows how good of a song. It's like, yo, this is amazing. I'm 10 years old. Like, I like Miley Cyrus, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Hey, I'm glad your son listening to Gold Digger instead of Miley Cyrus. I'm proud of you.
There you go.
That's a win right there.
Word up, man.
Where can they find you once more, man, so we can get out of here?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram at Juice JVP. You can find Good in the Hood Podcast on Twitter at Good in All Hood and on Instagram at Good in the Hood Pod. Also on Twitter, Instagram, please follow BKC Network. And shout out to my bro Jimmy Smoother and Jay Black, man, helping out the pod every week.
That's word up. I appreciate you, Juice.
We gotta do
this convo. We gonna have to have you back, man.
Once quarantine over, hope we can get a beer together. I'm saying once I share some weight, I'm saying get a beer, toast up with a little something Lagunitas style. You feel me?
Yeah.
For sure.
Word up, man.
Chicago thing.